So here's some of the most underrated signs that you have a healthy relationship with money that you're probably not giving yourself enough credit for. Number one, you are fully aware that social media can present unrealistic displays of wealth. So you understand that much of what you see online is often just a highlight reel, so it doesn't necessarily reflect reality. So in other words, the average person is not shopping every day or traveling 300 days a year or having every minute of fun. And it's so important to never downplay the importance of having this awareness because a lot of people don't. This is what helps you maintain a healthy perspective when it comes to your own financial situation. So instead of comparing yourself to others, you focus on your own goals and celebrate your own victories, no matter how small they may seem. And because you know that social media only shows a small portion of someone's life, you're able to stay grounded, which helps you make decisions that are in your best interest without being swayed by external influences. Also, you don't let others control your spending. So your spending choices are based on your values and priorities and not peer pressure or what society expects. And to give you an example of what I mean, instead of upgrading to a larger, more expensive house because your peers are doing so, you might choose to stay in your current modest home so that you're able to live life on your terms rather than be tied to a larger payment. In the end, everyone's goals, desires, and situations are unique, so what works for someone else might not work for you. So instead of trying to keep up with the Joneses, your focus is on living within your means and having confidence in your choices. Likewise, you talk openly with your spouse about money. Open and honest communication is not only key to having a healthy relationship with money, but also each other. And I know this probably sounds like common sense, but you would be surprised by the number of couples who never talk about money. But it's something that people should really work to overcome because money is a leading cause of tension in relationships. This can happen when they have two different views on how to manage and use it, when there are secrets, or when someone is irresponsible. But even if everything isn't perfect, the fact that you're able to work together as a team means that you are steps closer to getting on the same page, which is more than what a lot of couples can say. The bottom line is that addressing issues early can often prevent them from becoming larger problems down the road. Additionally, before making any financial decision, you take the time to research your options and weigh the pros and cons. And this can relate to most or all things related to money, whether you're choosing a new credit card, an investment strategy, or an insurance plan. So you don't live for the moment. Instead, you realize that even the seemingly smallest financial decision can have long-term consequences. The reality is a lot of financial problems could possibly be avoided if people would just take 5 minutes to consider the full picture. And with that in mind, you're always well prepared, which leads to better outcomes. You also maintain a positive attitude and believe it is possible to improve your finances. Whether it's paying off debt, increasing your savings, or growing your income, you approach financial challenges with the right mindset. You understand that financial success doesn't happen overnight and that it often requires hard work, discipline, and patience. And staying positive is crucial because some people make the mistake of viewing financial challenges or setbacks as defeat, in which case they completely give up. But just flipping things around and tweaking your mindset a bit can make all the difference. So instead of viewing those challenges as a defeat, view them as a learning opportunity. Because in most cases, there's a reason why things did not work out in the first place. And if you're able to pinpoint that reason, you can now do things differently. You also have a healthy relationship with money if you know the difference between needs and wants. And so that we're clear, needs are expenses that are necessary for survival, whereas wants are optional. Now for me, the difference between needs and wants are pretty clear, but there are a lot of people, surprisingly, who honestly do not understand the difference. And because of that, they get into this habit where they start prioritizing their wants, which ends up getting them into trouble. And again, needs, these are expenses that aren't a choice, which include housing, minimum debt payments, utilities, transportation costs, insurance, or maybe daycare. Wants, on the other hand, include everything else, which includes unnecessary shopping, eating out, recreation, entertainment, subscriptions. However, as someone who has a healthy relationship with money, you also understand how to strike a healthy balance between the two. And because you prioritize needs, it becomes easier to live within your means and create a spending plan that supports your goals. And this awareness means that you also practice delayed gratification and you understand that you can't always get what you want when you want it. So instead of always buying things on impulse, you take a more mindful approach to spending and consider whether something is truly necessary and if you can afford it. You also have a healthy relationship with money if you stay on top of your finances by regularly checking your bank accounts and credit card statements. And this is something you should never downplay, because keeping a close eye on your financial activity is one of the best ways to quickly identify suspicious activity and catch issues before they become bigger problems. Likewise, you also understand the importance of maintaining a good credit score and using credit responsibly. So even if your score isn't the best, you're actively taking steps to improve it, which includes paying your bills on time, keeping your credit card balances low, and disputing any errors on your credit report. You realize that good credit isn't only about getting loans. It can also help you when renting an apartment and applying for certain jobs. And finally, you make saving money a priority, even if you're only able to do a small amount each month. Consistently setting money aside for emergencies, future goals, and retirement can provide peace of mind now and in the future. So while some people might think that saving isn't worth it if they can't do a lot, you realize that something is better than nothing and that small contributions will add up over time. And because you take this approach, you're better prepared to handle financial storms and you don't panic when the unexpected happens.